I think we're live. Yes? Maybe? Crazier things have happened. Welcome to week 13 of quarantine. And welcome to the Kelly Kitchen. I thought we were almost done with this stuff and we were just sort of trying to ease back into life, and craziness happens. So we're just going to keep on showing up. We have to be cooking anyway, so why not? And welcome to the Kelly Kitchen. I'm Kelly, obviously, and we're going to have some food and some health and some fun. Just wanted to say a quick word that we are safe here. We're in Santa Monica, but we're far enough away from any craziness. And we're just going to keep doing what I know how to do best, and that is to help you guys learn how to make keto and low carb dinners for yourselves and for your families, and to try and get through this the best that we can with a little humility and a little bit of fun. We're going to get started. We are making my chicken chili casserole. We're also going to make raspberry cheesecake popsicles. Those are going to be super fun. And then we're going to pull out the Fathead pigs in a blanket again, because that recipe gets so much attention and I have so many questions that I can't necessarily answer in writing. I actually just have to show you how to do it. So we're going to get started. Chicken chili casserole is up on deck. I like to use just this big can of mild chilies. See where it says mild. You can get the spicy ones if you want, but most people, like if you're going to be feeding a crowd or a family with kids, you'll probably want to go with mild. You won't use an entire can of these, but because I can't tell how big the chilies are, they all vary in size. This is what they look like when they come out of the can. Who came to see me? Hi, Flo from Wisconsin. Nice to see you. And Julia, Tsuko. Hi, you guys. So this is what the chilies look like when they come out of the can. And each can has like a pound of chilies in it, but they're all different sizes. So you don't really know how much is in the actual can. But we're going to slice them open and we're going to line the bottom of your small casserole dish. Hi, Denise. How are you? You'll line the bottom, and sometimes this will take 4 chilies, and sometimes this right now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 chilies on the bottom. And I like to slice them open so that they lay flat. Do you see how I did that? And this is my little hack of what I love. There's no need to bring out a knife for this thing. I just take my kitchen scissors, there you go, and I just slice my chilies right open. So there you go. There is our layer, and I have 2 more of those to do. As you guys know, I always make my rotisserie chicken almost every single week. So I just have 2 cups of cooked cube chicken. You can buy a rotisserie chicken if you want. Costco has pre-made, pre-shredded chicken if you want. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Oh, there's 2 Lisas. And Shannon from Kansas. And Donna. Yes, we're staying safe here. Don't worry. We're good. So we've got our chilies lined in the bottom here, and we've got our other chilies ready for the next layer. I have got 4 eggs, and then I have 2 tablespoons of really soft cream cheese. It's been sort of sitting out all day. And then I have 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. I'm going to put that all in there, and I'm going to whisk that together very gently. You can use a hand whisker for this, or a hand mixer for this. You don't have to if you don't want to. Who came to see me? Hi, Susan. How are you? Oh, yes, from my New Zealand friend. Great to see you. Okay, so you're just going to mix this together, and it makes a nice creamy, eggy mixture. We'll add a few spices to this. You just want to break up all the pieces of the cream cheese. If your cream cheese is not soft, you can microwave it and get it soft, but it needs to be soft when you do this, because or else it sort of clumps, and you don't want that. So I'm going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This recipe comes together super fast. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of cumin, I don't know, how do you say it? I'm not really sure. Who came to visit me? Oh, Lisa. You can use, yes, you can either use almond milk or you can use coconut milk, both unflavored, unsweetened, because the eggs will actually hold it all together. Okay, I got my cumin, I got my garlic powder, I got my salt. I'm going to put, I don't know, maybe like a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to mix that all together, and then I'll fold the chicken in. If you have a leftover chicken, a girlfriend of mine that I went to college with, she just texted me that she had 2 extra chickens that they, I guess, made on a barbecue last night. So you just sort of, if you ever have like extra, if you're ever making chicken, make extra so that you can, you know, have it ready for, I have like probably 4 or 5 or 7 casseroles on my website that all just use cooked chicken. So it's always great to just have it on hand. Okay, so I've got all of my stuff mixed in there. I'm going to take my 2 cups of cubed chicken. You can use any kind of chicken you want. It's about a rotisserie chicken size. I didn't use a full chicken. I used 2 very large chicken breasts. And I'm going to fold all that stuff in together. I was not prepared with my thing. So I'm just going to fold all those things in there together. Doesn't that look nice? And it looks soupy, but after we bake this, it's going to all come together. Oh, and there's my friend Vic. How are you? Let's see. I don't have a substitute for a non-dairy cream cheese, but I think that there's a vegan version on that. I don't know if it actually works the same as cream cheese, but you can try that. I have a really hard time going dairy-free. There's a lot of meats that I can do, but when I'm doing casseroles, I'd be hard-pressed to find some dairy-free. Maybe like a dairy-free shepherd's pie or whatnot. So, okay, so I have our chilies laid out here. I'm going to put half of my chicken mixture right over those chilies. This is kind of like pulling together a lasagna. So you spread out that chicken. Then I have a cup of jack cheese and a cup of cheddar cheese in here. So I'm going to use half of this right now. Spread that over my mixture. The oven is heating up to 350 right now. And so that's ready to go for when we pop this in the oven. Okay, so we've got our cheese on there. Now the last step, we're going to put the chilies. Remember I showed you the chilies? We're going to put the second layer of the chilies onto our casserole, and then we're going to top it with the rest of the stuff. Ooh, I think I need 1 more chili. Who knew? Ooh, I'm having a little snafu there. Remember, I just used my scissors. I'm going to just slice this up. And I just want to, almost like lasagna, where you're going to get a layer of noodles. Can you guys see that? I'm going to show you. So I have a layer of chilies, then a layer of my chicken, then a layer of cheese. Now another layer of chilies. My second half of my chicken cheesy mixture with all of my seasons and spices in there. I'm going to pour that evenly over the top of my casserole. I swear the kids love this. It's great for leftovers too. You know, there's only 2 of us eating tonight, but this will be great for dinner tomorrow night or lunch tomorrow. This is great. I have never frozen this after I've cooked it, but I imagine that would probably be good too. Okay, so this is my second layer. I'm going to put the last layer of the cheese on top. I actually don't have to use all this. Sometimes I just go by, you know, what looks like it fills the gaps and covers everything. Let's see who else came to see me. Yes. Oh, hi, Vic. So we're going to pop this into the oven for 30 minutes. I think that looks good. And that is our dinner casserole. I mean, you can make that in the morning, you can make that on the weekends and just get it ready to be able to pop it into the oven. You could probably make this and then freeze this and then bake this from frozen if you wanted to. So we're going to put this in the oven, 350 for 30 minutes. And we're going to get started on our Fathead pigs in a blanket. I have a little surprise for you. I couldn't get to the supermarket today. We were on curfew like around 1 or 3 o'clock. Oh, from Canada. Hi. Oh, somebody just asked me, what kind of chili am I using? I'm using mild green chilies. I get them in any supermarket. So I'm doing a little surprise on the Keto Fathead pigs in a blanket. We're actually going to use sausage tonight. So they're almost like sausage rolls, but we're going to use the Fathead dough, and they look just like pigs in a blanket. We'll get our Fathead dough going. I have 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese in here, and I have 2 ounces of cream cheese. So we're going to microwave that all together. We'll get it nice and melted, and then we're going to add an egg and almond flour and a little bit of garlic powder. I've already got that ready for you guys. We'll get this out of the way. Ooh. I'm like doing an act here, trying to bring everything close to you guys. We'll get the chili out of the way. I wanted to let you know, well, this is microwave. I wanted to let you know that I really, really wanted to do a mason jar keto ice cream. I did 2 or 3 samples. They tasted great at exactly 4 hours of freezing. But anything after that, they were like rock hard. I didn't want to do that. So we're going to make them into popsicles, which I think is pretty fantastic anyways. And they taste wonderful. They're just not good as scoopable ice cream. That's been my experience. And I don't want you guys to waste your ingredients or your time making something if it's not going to turn out, you know. So let's check on our cheese for our Fathead. It's not melted yet. I probably need another 30 seconds to a minute. I think the question I get all the time about the Fathead pig in a blanket is, do you freeze them and then cook them, or do you cook them and then freeze them? And the true answer is that I do both. I make huge batches of them, and I will freeze half of them, and hold on, I'm going to show you. Well, I was going to show you, but I freeze them in Ziploc bags. So I keep them in my freezer raw. I roll them up, and then I freeze them. Oh, hi, Dee Dee from Huntington Beach, and Annette from Oregon. And Suzanne from Arizona. So I freeze them in batches, but then when I cook them, sometimes we don't get to eat them all. So I even freeze the cooked ones, and then when we're ready to eat them, I just pull them out, let them thaw on the countertop, or microwave them. So I do it both ways, and I don't think that there really is a right way or a wrong way, because it's just cheese and hot dogs. So all right, let's check on our dough. It's coming together. Oh, it's nice and melted. See, we've got mozzarella cheese and cream cheese, nicely melted. Oh, it's beautiful. If you have never made Fathead dough, one of the tricks is that the eggs, you really want them to be room temperature, because if you, oh, do you see my Kelly Kitchen t-shirt? Isn't that cute? I don't have any more, but I'm getting some. So if you wanted a Kelly Kitchen t-shirt, then let me know, and I'll figure that out for you. But yes, there you go. Oh, from Texas and San Pedro. Oh, I love seeing everybody in Kansas City. Okay, so you want room temperature eggs because you don't want to seize the hot cheese. I've got 3/4 cup of almond flour and a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of garlic powder. You can kind of add any seasonings you want, or you don't have to add any seasonings at all. If you want your fathead dough to be sweet, you could add some cinnamon, just a little bit. But for my typical fathead pigs in a blanket, I add a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm just going to pour that right into my cheese. And then I have my egg that is room temperature. Now, this is kind of a hard part. Just bear with me here because you got to mix all this together. And you kind of think, like, I remember when I first made this, I was like, am I doing this right? You got to kind of mash it against the sides. And it's not really easy the first time you do it. You're kind of like, is that really working? But every time you make it, you'll get a little bit better at making it. I have a lot of people asking where you can buy fathead dough, and there's no place that I know of that you can buy fathead dough. You have to make it. So get used to it and get good at it, because you can use it's such a versatile. You can use it for cinnamon rolls. You can use it for fathead pigs and blanket. You can use it for pizza. You can use it for calzones or like little pizza pockets. I made it Pop-Tarts one time. I didn't put those on the blog. I didn't think anybody would really, I don't know. They were a lot of work. So I didn't think anybody would really want to make Pop-Tarts. But they were fun and they tasted good. But again, they were a little over the top. So, okay. Can you guys see my dough came together? Oh, and there's Eva. I don't know how to say where you're from, but thank you for joining me. And my cousin, hi Shannon, how are you? And is it Clara from Texas? And then my lovely sister, hi sister, thanks for joining me from Arizona. Okay, so I've got my fathead dough. Check it out. There is my fathead dough. Cheese and almond flour. 1 egg, and here is the trick. Let me get this stuff out of the way. You're going to have parchment paper, and you're going to spray it with some spray. You can use regular oil if you want. You're going to spray both pieces of the parchment paper, and then you're going to put your fathead dough in the middle of your paper. We'll get this out of the way. Take your parchment paper with the oiled side down, and you're going to press onto your fathead dough. I have a really small cutting board here, so I'm going to move this so that I have more room to spread. Hope you guys can still see me. Can you? I think so. Okay, so check it out. I am going to roll this. This is kind of like a arts and crafts project. And there is no exact way to do this. Every way is right. Don't feel intimidated. But you guys, here is this is fathead dough. Do you see that? That is ready to make a pizza. That is ready to roll our pigs in a blanket. If I didn't put the garlic powder in it, that would be ready for cinnamon rolls. But that is how simple fathead dough is. So that's just considered a base. I'm going to move this off to the side because, like I said, it's kind of like an art project. I'm not using hot dogs tonight. I'm going to use sausage. I couldn't get to the supermarket. We were kind of on lockdown, and I was a little nervous about going out today. So I just pulled these from my freezer. They're Louisiana hot links, and we love these in my sausage soup. But we're going to use these little hot links, in our pigs in a blanket, and we're just gonna do it a little bit differently. Okay, so I'll pull these out. And these, one of these wrapped in the fathead dough will be a meal in and of itself. So here's where it's a little bit of an art project. Here is my hot link, my sausage. And if you can see, this is a little bit bigger than, let me do it this way, because I want you guys to really see this. Our chili casserole looks amazing and smells amazing. Okay, so I want you guys to see how I'm doing this. Let me just move this out of the way so I can really show you. Okay, so see how my hot link is a little bit too small for that. I want the ends of my hot link to hang out on either side. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. So I am going to eyeball this, and I am going to take half of this. Can you see this? I'm just going to roll my hot link. I'm going to roll that around. See, it's like a little art project. And then I'm going to press, see these little edges here? I'm going to press those little edges. Now, I'm not making these tonight. I'm going to freeze these like this. I'm going to put them in the freezer. So we'll have these another day for dinner. That's number one. I only have 4 more. Usually a hot dog pack comes with like 6 or 7 hot dogs in it. Sometimes they come less. It's hard to sort of gauge, but one recipe of your fathead dough may or may not be too much dough for your pigs. It might be too much, and that's okay too. You can keep the extra dough and make like a focaccia bread out of it. Just bake it or make a pizza out of it. So there's number 2. Someone just asked me a question. The dough is called fathead dough. It's just cream cheese, mozzarella cheese, almond flour, and egg. And it's one of the staples in our lives. So I just have 2 more that you cannot buy fathead dough. You have to make it. And if you missed making it, you can rewind on this and watch me make it again, or the recipes on the website, thekellykitchen.com, Kelly with an I-E. You the Kelly Kitchen. Okay, so there I've got my second one. And I think I might have a little extra fathead dough, which is fine. I can just save it for later, or I can make some dinner rolls out of it. These are really large, so one is going to be plenty for each of us when we do decide to have this for dinner. So we didn't get our walk in today, but if you can tell, I still am in my workout gear because one of my impulse purchases was that I got a treadmill. So I have 0 excuse. I always have to get on the treadmill for at least 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be pretty. But I did get on the treadmill today, even though I did not go outside. So I'm feeling very accomplished for that. So if you can see, I have a little bit of the fathead dough left. That is okay. You can make a little pizza out of this. You can freeze it just like this if you want, and pull it out later and make a mini pizza. Don't feel like, oh my God, there's extra. What do I do? It's really hard to connect a package of hot dogs and a recipe of fathead dough because it's never going to fully match up. But this is extra, and we're just going to put that to the side. I'll deal with that later. I also am almost out of, I love everything but the bagel seasoning. And you can get this at Trader Joe's. I got this in a cute little like spice store up in Solvang, but it's everything but the bagel spices. And I'm just going to do 2 of these. I'll just sprinkle the top. And I might have enough to do 3. But it just gives a nice little salty flavor with the poppy seeds and There we go. You guys, there are Fathead, what are we calling these? Sausage rolls, right? These are gonna go right into my freezer. If I was having this for dinner tonight, I would pop this in the oven for probably 15 to 20 minutes, and then I would maybe broil them for a few minutes on top. But because we're not eating these tonight, I am gonna freeze them just like this. As soon as they are frozen, I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and we'll save them for an easy meal later on. Oh, my friend Cinda. Hi, Cinda. How are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Thanks for coming and watching. Okay, so we're going to put these in the freezer just to get them out of the way. We'll get them frozen and save them for a later day. Let's get started on our raspberry cheesecake popsicles. Okay, I'm super excited because, you guys, this is a brand new sweetener, hot off the presses. It is not monk fruit. It is not stevia. It is called pure cane, and it's made from real sugar. So I just got it yesterday. It just came to market in March. It has 0 glycemic index. It is GMO, non-GMO. It's vegan, not that I really care about that. It's gluten-free and it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So I just started playing with this. I made some chocolate chip pecan cookies last night and they were fantastic. But we're gonna use this to make our raspberry cheesecake popsicles. So I have, and again, I'm not using my electric mixer. I just didn't feel like it tonight. But that's okay. We're gonna use elbow grease. You know, it's a little bit of my my exercise. Oh, there's my friend from Richfield. Hi, Melissa. It's so good to see you. So who else came to see me? Okay, so I've got a cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to use a half a cup of this new sweetener. Again, it's called Pure Cane. It tastes like sugar. It has the sweetness of sugar. It looks like sugar. And I'm told it doesn't have the cooling effect that erythritol has, or it doesn't have the bitterness that stevia has. So we're going to use 3/4 of a cup. This is a half a cup, and then we'll do just a little bit more. And we're going to whisk that together. These come together pretty easily too. We'll put the cream cheese. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of softened cream cheese. This is room temperature. Again, if you forgot to pull it out of the freezer, oh, whoops, I dropped some. If you forget to pull it out of the refrigerator and it's hard, you're going to need to soften it up a little bit. So I was home today, obviously, so I was able to pull that out, and I'm just going to give a little whisk, and I'm going to break up all that. Hope I don't make a huge mess here. You can use frozen raspberries for this. You can use strawberries. You can use blueberries. And you do not need to have popsicle molds. I'm going to use those tonight because I actually ran out of Dixie cups. But Dixie cups are actually easier. And I think I prefer making these in Dixie cups, but I figured we'd do them in the molds tonight so you guys can see how pretty those are. And they actually look like traditional popsicles. So I'm just mixing together the cream cheese, the sweetener, and the heavy cream. I'm going to whisk that together. Get it nice and mixed. We'll use a teaspoon of vanilla. Petra, how are you? Petra wants to know if, wait, first question. Vic wants to know, is it powdered or granular? For this recipe, I'm using it granular, and it comes granular. You can powder it, but one of the things that I hear is that it doesn't recrystallize like the other ones. So I don't know yet. I'm just trying it out. I'm the guinea pig for you guys, but I think it might be okay. From any of the recipes I've seen on it, it doesn't recrystallize. So we'll just have to see. I think it's okay. When you make it in popsicles, it doesn't matter. So we're just going to do granular. So I've got my cream cheese, my sweetener, my vanilla. We're going to use a half a cup of almond milk. And if you have strawberry extract instead of vanilla extract, you can use that too. Oh, there's my friend from college. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you. Okay. So I got all that mixed together. Now, here's the thing. This recipe calls for a half of a cup of raspberries. I'm going to put a quarter of them in here. I'm sorry, a quarter of a cup of the raspberries into my mix, and I'm going to mash them in there. And then I'm going to take the other quarter of a cup, and I'm going to leave them whole. And I'm going to put them into the, okay, so there is a quarter of a cup. The rest of the raspberries, I'm going to put them whole inside so that they'll freeze that way. They'll freeze whole. Because I want to have the chunks. So, I don't know. It's, you know, like the frozen fruit, the paletas that we know and love. So I wanted to tell you guys the way that I started with this recipe is I'm sure you've seen mason jar ice cream. Keto mason jar ice cream. It's really great when you eat it at 4 hours. But who's going to eat 2 cups of ice cream exactly at 4 hours? And if you don't, then it gets rock hard and you can't really eat it. So that's why we're making them into popsicles, because they last longer and they are low carb, and you can lick for, you know, a good 7 to 12 minutes. I'm putting this into a pourable container because I'm going to pour these into my popsicle mold. So let me show you what I've got here. I always like to, this is the silicone mold. I do not recommend getting the plastic molds. You will have a time of it trying to get your popsicles out if you use the hard plastic mold. So I don't recommend that. These are the silicone molds. They're squishy. This is a pretty high quality one, so it's not too flimsy, but I always like to keep it on a little tray because when you fill this up, you don't want to spill it all over the place. This is the lid. I'll show you what we use that for in a second. I'm going to take a couple of raspberries and I'm going to place them inside our mold. I'm just going to press them down in there. It doesn't matter if they get squished because they actually look prettier that way when you squish them inside the mold. And I'm not exactly sure how many these make. The recipe is still kind of in the works. But we'll try 6. This could be 8. I'm not really sure. We'll try 6 popsicles, and we will see how that comes together. Ooh, I almost lost one. There we go. And we'll put that one there. I don't know. Maybe we'll do 8. Who knows? We'll just see how it goes. So this is why I put this in a pourable thing here because, wait, somebody just asked me a question. Oh, so Dana just asked where you can buy these. So if you go to my website, thekellikitchen.com, any of my popsicle recipes, there are some links to this silicone popsicle mold on there, and you just get them off Amazon. I think they're like $11. They're super inexpensive. And I wanted to also mention to you guys that I don't use these molds very often, just because we go through popsicles so fast, and I like to share my popsicles. Oh, see, I made a big mess. I like to share my popsicles with friends around town, and they travel much better when you put them in Dixie cups. So I'm going to show you what the Dixie cups look like in a second. Ooh, I made a big mess. Whoops. That's okay. We're going to be eating these ones. Just push that. I think I might be able to get 8 or 10 of these in here. So let's do that. Our chicken chili, I can smell it. My kitchen smells so good. And that's going to be a great dinner. I'll probably do like a quick little salad with that. And then we'll have leftovers for lunch tomorrow and dinner tomorrow. And then I'll probably be sick of chicken chili casserole for a while. So just finish off our raspberry cheesecake popsicles, right? I may have gone overboard with the raspberries here in this one, but well, that's okay. We'll just have frozen raspberries in those ones. Where's my spoon? Oh, I lost it. Sorry. Please hold. Here we go. Okay. I never like to leave extras in here because who wants to have less of a popsicle? And I'm going to put that in there. So we got 9 popsicles out of this thing. And I was a little messy, if you can see. But here's the fun part. This is what I love about not using Dixie cups, is you have this little lid that will hold your popsicles in place. So you just put the lid right on top. You just lay it right there on top. And then these little popsicle sticks, you guys, summer is coming. You're going to have to learn how to make these. So these little popsicle sticks you can get at CVS in the arts and crafts section. You can get them at Michael's, at Joann's, or whatever. They're just plain craft popsicle sticks, crafters popsicle sticks. And then you just take them and you slide them right inside these little slits, and this will hold them together. Now, again, you don't have to have this popsicle mold. It does make really pretty popsicles, and the kids love them this way. But most of the time I use Dixie cups, and I'm going to show you what those look like after I put this in the freezer. So check it out. So there are my popsicles. Those are going into the freezer, and I'm going to show you how fantastic my little popsicles are. Check it out. Got to rearrange some things in here. I was not prepared for this. Okay, there we go. So this was my first batch, so they don't look as pretty, but you have them in these little Dixie cups, just like that. You can get these Dixie cups anywhere. You can get a sleeve of 1,000 for like $5. Dixie cups, you tear off the Dixie cup, and there is your raspberry cheesecake popsicle. So delicious. I'm not going to eat this because I got dinner coming soon, and our chicken chili casserole is almost done. I'm going to just check that out. The last minute and a half. Woo! It looks great. We've got a minute left. It's just going to give a little brown on top, and then our chicken chili casserole will be done. I have a few people that have asked me some questions. Okay, so somebody just said like Rebel ice cream and Halo ice cream and Enlightened. Those are brands of keto-friendly ice creams that you can buy ready-made at the supermarket. And when you pull them out of the freezer, you need to let them sit on the counter for about 5 to 15 minutes to soften up. And then they become scoopable. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time waiting for that 15 minutes, and I want to just pull it out and have it ready. Unfortunately, I have very little patience, so I just do it this way. But you can buy ready-made ice cream, Enlightened, Rebel, and Halo. Those are the brands that people talk about all the time. They're kind of expensive, but it is what it is. Someone just asked again where I get the silicone molds. You can get them on Amazon. If you are looking for the link, you can go to my website, thekellykitchen.com, Kelly with an IE, kitchen.com, and any of my popsicle recipes usually have the link in there. One of these days I'll get a little bit more organized, and I will get like a shop or something or whatever so that you guys can just click on them. They're not expensive. They're only like 10 or 12 bucks. So let's see who else came to me. Oh, my friend Allie. Oh, Melissa, you're so sweet. I think we got everything. I hope that this new sweetener is going to work out. I would be interested. They're having a bake-off contest, and I'm going to bake some fun things for them. But if anybody has any ideas or anything that they think I should make for their contest, let me know. I'm going to check on our casserole. Looking so good. I don't want to burn myself, so I've got my trusty hot mitts. And there is our chicken chili casserole. Oh, fantastic. Oh my gosh. Wait, I got to close this because I don't want to. There, my friends, is our chicken chili casserole. It's kind of like a cross between a quiche and a casserole. It's got chilies and chicken and eggs and cheese and lots of spices. And this is our dinner tonight. And it's not, most of my casseroles, not most of my casseroles don't do this, but most keto casseroles can tend to get a little soupy. So the egg holds this together, and it's really, really delicious. I got one more question. Let's see. Who just asked me something? One more question. Oh, very good question, Atsuko. Because this new sweetener just came to market, again, if you're just joining me now, it's called Pure Cane. Pure Cane, because it's made from pure cane sugar. It's made from real sugar. Wish I had smells vision. It looks good. Yes, it does. So this is a 1.5 pound bag for $18. So it's not cheap yet, but if it becomes popular and we use it all the time and we can buy it in bulk, then it brings the price down. So that is why I'm testing this out for you guys, because I really want to make sure that it's something that it's worth it to spend the money on. $17 for a little bag of sugar when you can buy a 5 pound bag of traditional sugar for like $2. It's really hard to make this jump. I mean, it's hard enough with, if you're baking with it and the recipe doesn't turn out. So $17 through Amazon. You can buy it through their website too. Their website is Pure Cane. So thank you so much for joining me. This, it's a crazy time, and I so appreciate you guys coming to see me and being able to do this on Monday nights. It makes the time pass, and it makes everything a little bit more normal for us. And I hope that you find some help out of this. Please share this with anybody on any social media. I'm at the Kelly Kitchen, Kelly with an IE. Go to my website if you have any questions. But thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye. Let's go have dinner. Honey, let's go have dinner.